limits. Liberal, irreverent, oh, and really, really gay.
Hey everybody, welcome to Game Ass. I thought I'd play my original theme song. Well, it's not the original. Well, yeah, it's the original theme song for the show, for the Off Limits show, of which Game Ass is a part. So, I haven't played it in a while, and I need to start playing it more often. I should play it on every show, but I don't. Often on Game Ass shows, I'll play music first, but anyway, there it is if you hadn't heard it before. So welcome to Game Ass. Thanks for joining me tonight. It is, what is today? Today's the 9th, I think, right? No, today's the 10th, because it's now after midnight. So it's actually Thursday, the 10th of July, 2014. And tonight we're talking about several things I have on my plate to discuss tonight in gay culture. One is I have a question from a listener, and I'm going to address that in a moment. But first, I want to let you know, of course, as always, how you can find out more about me and find out where to find out more about me. You can go to offlimitshow.com. You can go to Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com. Also, I'm on iTunes. If you want to subscribe on iTunes, that would be great. And also Twitter and Facebook, of course. There's a Facebook group, by the way, I created a long time ago. But also, particularly, there's a page. Be sure if you go and search for Off Limits Show, that you go to the Off Limits Show page, which actually I think the URL for that is facebook.com/offlimitsradio. And comment away. I mean, I'd like to have a community there. People will actually talk about the show that you've listened to and talk about your feedback or whatever. Or just talk to me. Or you can post questions like one of the listeners we have posted recently, a couple of days ago. He sent it to me via email, actually, asking me some questions about his relationship. But first, we're going to talk about some other things. First of all, I don't know how many of you watch Big Brother. I watch it. I'm a diehard fan of that show. And there is on the show, Zach, and there's a guy named Frankie. Now, Zach is heterosexual. He's straight, and he actually is I think he's from Boston. And if you are a fan of Big Brother, you might remember Dan from the show, who won a couple seasons back. And the weirdest thing is, my husband and I are watching the show, and we're like, I said, this guy, he's just like Dan. I mean, he's got the same mannerisms as Dan. He talks like Dan. He gesticulates like Dan. He has similar looks like Dan. He's from the same area as Dan. And we're like, he's got to be related to Dan. I mean, seriously. So if you watch the show, and you know who I'm talking about, watch him and look at how similar the way he sits on the confessional sofa. Everything about him is just like Dan. It's really weird. He talks real loud like this when he talks to the camera, like Dan did. So it's just really strange. But anyway, he's got this Showmance now, sort of. It's kind of a by default with Frankie, who's the gay guy, the token gay guy on Big Brother this season. And so he says he's not sexual. It's not sexual. He's not gay, but he has like a total bromance with him, and they sleep together, they cuddle together. They caress each other, they hug, they play around, they're always doing everything together. So it got me to thinking about a straight man and gay man like friendships or whatever. And it's kind of an odd thing because, you know, I've had these kind of relationships with straight guys before. And one comes to mind is my personal trainer I had a few years ago. Actually, it was a long time ago. It's been so long. It was 7 years ago now. That he would come to my house and we would work out together. And he would train me 3 times a week, and I'd work out on my own 3 times a week. And he really got me into shape and everything then. And he was really great. Anyway, he was a really good looking guy. He was a model. He actually did work, you know, as a model. He actually did print ads, and he did like he was in acting, and he was part of a pilot that was shot here in Dallas and whatever. Anyway, he was dating this girl, and they were serious, and he was living with her, whatever. And he seemed to really be in love with her, and he was. But anyway, throughout the time we were together, he was always like grabbing my ass and like slapping my ass and like being flirty and things he would say and do, and just it always really confused me. And he was gorgeous, of course, so it was always hard for me to remember he's straight. And of course, you know, well, how many of us gay guys out there have not had a straight guy hit on us? I mean, straight guys hit on gay guys all the time, you know, surreptitiously, you know, trying to do it so that to see if there's any kind of response because they're interested or they're curious or whatever. But I was never really been interested in straight guys, and I wasn't interested in him that way. It's just, you know, sexually I was attracted to him, of course, because he was hot. But he was always doing stuff like that too. So do any of you ever have that kind of experience with straight guys who flirt with you, like sexually flirt with you, but they're not gay? And I don't think he's gay. I really don't think he was gay per se. I just think he was curious, maybe, or just flirty or whatever. I don't know. He even told me one time, he said, if I were gay, you'd be, you and I would be together. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I'm like, you say that to all your gay clients, don't you? But anyway, it was just really weird. So this kind of reminds me of this Big Brother kind of thing. And so it's always sort of weird when a straight guy, and a gay guy get close like this, and there's like physical affection. But, you know, the thing is, you know, we're so conditioned in America, especially, to not, you know, be responsive to, or for men have to be very anti-affectionate. You know, men, whether you're gay, straight, whatever, society almost dictates that we have to be very, you know, anti-affectionate. We can't express affection to other men if you're straight, especially. Well, only if you're straight, really. You know, straight guys have this rule, and even gay guys, before they come out, you know, they're aware of that rule as well, because it deems you as being gay or something in America. Whereas if you go to Europe, if you go to France or Spain, especially, or Italy, is very much like this. They're very, very affectionate. Heterosexual men are very, very affectionate with one another. And here in America, it's just like so taboo to express affection. And I think it really does fuck up with a lot of people, especially a lot of men, and how we were raised by our fathers. And, you know, whether you're gay or straight, and a lot of men, gay or straight, grow up believing that it's not okay to express emotion. And so they just hold it on inside, they bottle it up, and then they explode or whatever. So that's how they're taught or trained to be. And that's the definition of a man in America. You got to be tough and hold it all in and all that kind of bullshit. Whereas in my opinion, the true definition of a real man is one that can express emotion and express themselves, you know, without having fear of being called a faggot or gay or showing affection to another man. And I don't mean in a sexual way, just like hugs or whatever specifically. Or even more than that, but not like kissing, obviously, but, you know, just like affection, holding hands even, which is, they do that all the time in Italy and in Europe, all across Western Europe. It's very, very common, just like girls do. If you think about women in America, you see girls holding hands all the time. I mean, I do anyway, and have all my life. And it doesn't mean they're lesbians. People don't automatically assume, oh, those are two lesbians because they're holding hands. They just think they're good friends or whatever. That happens all the time in Europe. You'll see two straight guys walking down the street holding hands, and all the while whistling at women or something. So it's just really bizarre to me. In America, we have this John Wayne mentality about what it means to be a man, and it's ridiculous. So when we see guys like this, or straight guys who are affectionate with other men, whether they're gay men or straight men in some way, which is outside the norm, the cultural norm that we have here in America, it's like, what the fuck are they doing? Are they gay? That's the first thing we think of. So this guy this guy Zach on Big Brother continually says he's not gay and this is not a gay thing, and I believe him. Now it doesn't mean that it's true. I mean, there's obviously instances where there are straight guys who are questioning their sexuality or are curious or are wondering what it might be like to be with a man. And so they do it this way, and they kind of trepidatiously sort of try to, flirt with a gay guy. But I think more often than not, it's just a guy being a guy. So, and you think straight guys, like especially like soccer teams and stuff, like in Spain and stuff like that, there's even entire websites about how they like kiss each other on the fucking field, if they win or make a goal or something, or slap each other in the ass, or pull each other's pants down and grab each other's balls, or so it's like things that you would think just gay guys would be doing, but straight guys do it too. So to me, as part of being a man and being a guy, it's just an expression of brotherhood and camaraderie, that we guys have with one another that girls just don't really get. Whether you're gay or straight guy, we all have this kind of sense of camaraderie because we're men, and it doesn't mean it's sexual. So anyway, I just wanted to say I think it's not fair to say that people who are like that are gay. I think sometimes they're just affectionate or just expressive and aren't necessarily gay. So now if they're wanting to kiss you and they want you to suck their dick, or you want to suck theirs or whatever, that's a different story. Or they want to suck yours, or fuck or something like that. That's a different story. I'm not talking about full-blown sex here. I'm talking about affection, which is not the same thing. So anyway, that's that. Wendy Williams, by the way, who's a cultural gay icon now, and she's not gay, but she is, one of the gay divas that we gays kind of hold up there as gay, a gay icon, basically, like Madonna or whatever, in terms of our culture, and because she's gay friendly, and she's gossipy and dishy, just like most gay people are, and she is, she's different, and so she's not like most people, and she's so, we gay guys typically like people who are different. Well, she recently came out and said that people often think that she's a man. And I remember when I first saw her on TV, for the first probably like 2 minutes, I was like, is that a man or is that a woman? Is that a man or is that a woman? It says Wendy Williams, but, I wasn't really sure. And for the same reasons that she mentioned in her quote, I'm going to read in a second, but, she's tall, she's a woman. She's tall and she's big boned or whatever. And she's, she's Amazonian pretty much, like I would say. And so, her features are harder or whatever. And so you might think she's like, man, I definitely did for about a couple minutes. And then Michael, my husband, for like probably a year kept saying, that's a man. That's a man. That's a man. I said, no, it's not. She's not a man. It's a woman. And she's had a kid. He's like, no, she didn't. And so anyway, so she said recently that she spoke to ABC before she made her stand-up comedy debut in Las Vegas yesterday. And she said they'd ask her about being, about what she'd had to experience as being a talk show host, whatever. And she does say this. She says, quote, people do think I was born a man. That is absolutely not true. I get it. I've got a strong face, a strong body. I'm 5'11". I wear wigs. There's no worse way to insult a woman than by saying she looks like a man. But once a woman gets over that, there is no stronger woman. I think that's a fantastic quote, and it kind of shows her resilience and her beauty, And I do think she does look like a drag queen. I'd say that for sure. She looks like a drag queen a lot of the time because she's just very, so does Dolly Parton looks like a drag queen too. So it's not about her being a man or a woman. She's just over the top with everything she does in terms of her, her beauty regime or whatever. And so I don't know, but I think it's not fair to say that about her. I think she's obviously she's obviously definitely a friend to the gay community. I certainly like her. But anyway, that's that. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard about this guy. His name is Nash Greer, and he's this kid. I didn't really know that much about him.